Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay. It's alright, my friend, because bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, light at the end of the tunnel, pot of gold, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. But I also want you guys to cherish and honor and appreciate those bad times because those bad times had got you to the good times that you have been manifesting and praying for, let alone those bad times that humbled us. Not only humbled us, but they also showed us there is, if there's a will, there is a way. And my friend, I guarantee you, if you're going through a bad time right now, trust me, that good time is coming, but appreciate what you have going on and just cherish it because your good days and good times and all that stuff is coming. Okay? So first and foremost, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this, but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? First and foremost, again, I guess this is like a little sidebar. I thank you also very much taking the time out of your busy day to listen or to watch me. I appreciate it so very much. I really, really do, especially for the ones that are new here. I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to really get to know who is vibing with E as well as to see what is my series all about. And for the OGs, I thank you also very much as always for doing what you guys do, listen and support me as well. But overall, thank you also very much for the likes, comments, subscribing, listening, downloads, all those things. I seriously, I said seriously, sincerely, excuse me, appreciate you all so very much. Like, I really, really do. You guys do not go unnoticed. Like, before I recorded, I was looking to see at the numbers, they're going up and up and up. I really do appreciate it so much, and I really, really, really appreciate you all. So let's get started. So if you're new here, I have created weekly newsletters, and today we have 31 newsletters. The newsletters have became a big thing back in June of last year when the podcast had just turned 2 years old. The first that Wednesday after the podcast turned two. I want to say it was on the 18th because the anniversary was on the 15th. So, yeah, it was the 18th, June 18th. That was a Wednesday. And that's when I started creating the weekly newsletters. And I have been consistent since June 18th. And now we are at January 14th on this Wednesday, and we have 31 newsletters. So I'm really, really excited about that. Um, if you guys are willing to want to see what's going on with the weekly newsletters, don't be afraid to click the link, and everywhere that you listen or watch me is a link tree link there. Just click on the link tree link, scroll down to weekly. It says sign up for weekly newsletter is an icon. Tap on it, and all you have to do is type in your email. So then once I see it, you will be added onto the rest of the weekly newsletters to come. Sorry, y'all, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm like, I'm trying to push out this content so much because like it's a lot. It's a lot of new things that I have in store for you today. Like I said, for the first Wednesday of the month of this year, I was like, I want to push as much of the content in as much as possible, get all the announcements and stuff out the way as possible so we can jump into the juicy stuff. But yes, once again, I thank you all so very much for everything that you do, from the listening, the downloads, liking, comments, subscribing, sharing. I sincerely appreciate it a lot, and I promise you, you guys' support does not go unnoticed. I sincerely appreciate you all dearly, like I really, really do. As I mentioned, we are on the 30, we have 31 newsletters, and the theme for this month still stays as we rise and reset, stepping boldly into the new year. And this is part two because we have 4 Wednesdays in January, and I think we will hit 5 Wednesdays in April. So yeah. So without further ado, let's get into what's going on with the newsletter, and then we'll jump right into the vibe of the day. So, as we move through, I hope you're moving through this week with intentions and grace. And if confidence feel shaky right now, that's okay. Confidence doesn't always show up loud and fearless. Sometimes it show up quietly in moments where you choose to try anyway. So as we continue our January theme, rise and reset, stepping boldly into your new level, into your next level. We could be next or your new level, whatever you want to call it. This week focus reminds us that confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something that you practice. Rising doesn't mean you're never unsure. It means you're willing to show up even when doubt is present. Resetting means choosing courage again and again, even on the days it feels uncomfortable. Okay. So this week's challenge, y'all, I want you guys to just choose one small action this week that requires you to show up despite unnecessarily being like uncertain and unnecessary about how you feel within yourself. I want you to speak up, apply, share, ask, or try, even if your voice shakes. Ask yourself what it looks like to trust myself just a little bit more today. Confidence grows as much as you apply it each and every day because it's not perfect. But as much as more and more you put yourself out there, be comfortable with trying new things, that's where you are getting the swing of things. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because confidence is not, being perfect. It's just you being able to seek what's for you and what's not for you. Okay. So that's the challenge of the day. The week, I want to see how you guys do. And I really feel like you guys can do it because I'm even doing the challenges with you guys too. And I'm speaking out, showing out, applying more pressure to myself, but also trusting my instincts even more, especially within having the self talk of myself and overall just trusting myself within everything that I do. And also learning how to not let things blow out of proportion. Sometimes we have those moments, y'all, when we crack. Trust me, I had my moment like a few moments ago with them before recording, and I had to be like, wow, like, why did this happen? Why did that just happen? But sometimes things get to the best of us and we have to like shake up and get ourselves back together to do what we have to do. But like I also say too, have the mirror conversations with yourself 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40, 50. So an hour conversation with yourself as much as possible for you to get yourself back together and to be calm and calm and collected as much as possible. Because you don't want to start a project as well as get into a project or deal with someone and your attitude is so messy and it's so like not the vibes that you're going to put off a bad rep for yourself and others. Okay. So yeah. So let's get into it. Vibing out with guests, y'all, is returning soon, and I'm super super excited about that because vibing out with guests is proof that every story, no matter where it starts, has the power to inspire others. And this series continues to grow, and every episode is a reminder of why we start real conversations that inspires, uplifts, and connects. So vibing out with guests fully returns. I will be taking interviews starting Sunday, January 25th, 2026. And I'm super excited. I'm super nervous so that I'll be able to see new things and also hear new voices from people as well as to listen to their stories, hear new voices, and have meaningful conversations with them. It was needed to have that break of vibing out with guests because, it was holiday time. I had things going on. Sometimes I could, something had to give. And I had to give something a break, and I gave that a break. And not gonna lie, not only is vibing with E coming hard, but as well as vibing out with guests gonna come a little bit harder. So I'm trying to think of things that I want to do with the guests to give y'all a little bit more of, I want to say, more of them tapping in a little bit deeper into who they are, but also making it a little bit more free will. Like, don't get me wrong, Vibe I would guess is still free will, but it's to the point where they're so comfortable that they be like, oh dang, we still recording. But yes, y'all. So please, 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 if you're interested in being a guest or know someone whose journey could inspire others, now is the time. Fill out the guest appearances forms today to be considered for an upcoming session. This is a safe and intentional space where real stories matter and growth is valued. And once again, that is also in the link tree. You will see like it's 2 forms on there, and then you have the calendar one when you secure your spot. Not only do I do in person, but I also do on Zoom. I have never did Zoom yet, and I'm super excited to see who will be the first one that I will do a Zoom session with. And yeah, so come on, y'all. Y'all have books. The books are open for September 25th to apply for the Vibing Out with guest appearances. And if I don't have one right away, that's okay because I'm getting myself back together. As long as I'm giving y'all vibes with the Vibing with E to still push, and then hopefully Vibing Out with guests will get back onto a schedule of probably the same way as Vibing with E. But if not, that's okay. That's all right. Because also too, y'all, vibing out with guests turns 1 years old this year, Saturday, February 14th, 2026. And I say Friday or Saturday. I think I said Friday. I don't know. But Saturday, y'all. So on Valentine's Day, Vibing Out with Guests turns 1 years old. I'm super excited about that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I am going to say to all the guests out there that has been on the series, I thank you all so very much for your time, your patience, just telling your stories, having your voice on there, and as well as being connected, being open to touch someone's life out there because you never know who life you have touched and put an impact on. So I thank you also very much. As well as to the listeners, to everyone that has been subscribed and tuned into that series, I thank you also very much because without you, it wouldn't be possible to keep on having that series and pushing it forward, regardless if the numbers go up or not. I'm still going to push this series as much as I push Vibing with E. Okay, so yes, fill it out, fill it out, fill it out. Submit your forms and secure your spot today. Okay, so the quote of this week is confidence is built every time you choose courage over comfort. Confidence is built every time you choose courage over comfort. Okay, and we're gonna dig in a little bit deeper on that so you can understand why is that the quote of the week. And as always, stay connected. Follow the podcast page on Instagram at vibing dots with E. Please use the hashtag Vibe with E to share how you're practicing confidence this week, or DM me whatever you want to do. And until the next vibe, from your host, Vibing with E LLC, as well as the trademark owner of Vibing with E. So now let's get deep into the real good good stuff. So Vibing with E weekly vibe check, where meaningful conversations meet growth and real live connections. As today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. This is the drop for today / the new episode / the vibe of the day. So today's vibe of the day is confidence is a habit, showing up even where you're unsure. And this is episode 138. Now, the reason for this one is because as we are still in the midst of the beginning of the year and we're still trying to figure out who we are, as well as being able to be comfortable and being able to just do things we are not sure about. I felt as though this vibe of the day was very important because confidence is a habit that we feel as though, oh, we have to have this confidence. I have to be built for this and stuff like this. But we never really show up to when we have the confidence, even if we're unsure. Like, I'm real big on this saying too. Sometimes we have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. Like, you gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable with certain situations as well as with people. So even if your confidence is high or not, you still want to make sure that you're able to do what's necessary for you, showing up even when you're unsure, but making sure that you're showing up for things that make sense, even if it may be unsure for you. But just thinking, okay, I'm unsure about this, but I know in the long run, this may help me in some type of aspect in my life. Okay. So this week's episode is a genuine and empowering conversation about building confidence through action rather than certainty. We're unpacking the truth about confidence, how it forms and why doubt doesn't, disqualify you, and how you showing up consistently creates self-trust over time. This episode is for anyone who's been waiting to feel ready before taking the next step. So in this episode, we will cover why confidence is built through habits, not feelings, how to show up even when self-doubt is present, the difference between fear and isolation, and how self trust grows through consistent action, and most importantly, letting go of perfection and choosing progress. Okay, so this episode is a reminder that confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Okay. So y'all, I'm glad y'all tuned in because this conversation is also all about for an honest and motivating conversation that's designed, and divided into deeply to help you right to help you raise with courage and keep moving forward even when you feel unsure. Okay. So now let's get into it. And if you're new here, you're here for a good treat. And I really hope you guys enjoy it because I know I'm about to. And as always, if you're new here to the OGs, I want you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy hearing my voice, whether you're on the go, you moving around, whatever case may be. Please turn me up on your phones, your PCs, your tablets, your speakers, your car radios, your Alexas, your Apple TVs, your Roku TVs. What is it, the Google Dots, all that, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. Okay. So let me break it down to you how I break down the vibes, give y'all the vibe of the day, and we're gonna tap into it. So I reintroduce what today's vibe of the day is. I break it down within the definition, the 5 W's, to repeat the quote of the week, which is be the quote of the day. And I have a little note for thank you for tapping in to also help you expand on the importance of today's vibe of the day. So, my friends, so, ooh, okay, so let's get into it. So, as you guys know, this is the second week of January, and it feel like it's going by a little bit slow. I don't know if it's me, but I feel like it's going. It feel like it's going fast, but the days are going by a little bit slow. Because every day when I mark, circle the days off of on my calendar and stuff, I be like, it felt like in the day it go by so fast, but the days are slow or going really slow, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I think this is needed to help us just enjoy it. And I love how everyone on Instagram is saying that 2026 will be 2016, even though it was 10 years ago. We still want that vibe, we still want that 2026 feeling, but most importantly we want that 2020, you want that 2016 um summer. I know I do. I was very young, but I was young in 2016, so it's a little bit different now that 2026, different type of vibe or whatever. But I'm honestly, going to enjoy how the day is slowing down and stuff like that. But also too, like when it get dark still fast, it's like now it's getting a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more darker towards 4:30 than it was supposed to be at 5. Like on my watch, it say like 5:04, but like on the weekends, it looked like the daggone sun go down when it's like 4:40 or something. So I don't know, y'all, but that's just me. That's my little thing I want to slide in there. But let's get into it. So repeat the vibe of the day again, and we're going to dive into it. So how my notes are developed, I do research and I add my own twist to it, and then I talk about it and we expand on it because my episodes are based on us having conversations. Even though we're not in front of each other, we're still going to give a conversation like, I feel it. Okay, yeah, that type of vibe. So let's get into it. Okay. So today's vibe of the day is confidence is a habit, showing up even when you're unsure. Episode 138. And the definition. The definition also opens more doors as well as expands on what is what is the vibe of the day. Like what is it? How does it impact with you? X, Y, and Z. So what does it really mean to say confidence is a habit? What does it really mean? When you think about it, first and foremost, I bet none of y'all ever heard of never heard of that sentence broken down. Like, what does it really mean to say confidence is a habit? And when I did my research and stuff, and I thought about it myself, I'm like, okay, confidence is a habit. When people say they conceited, they got a reason. Like my confidence is high because of X, Y, and Z. It's a habit we form for ourselves, but do we really know what this habit is? So let's deep into it. Confidence as a habit means confidence is built through repeating actions, not insult beliefs. It's the practice of showing up, trying and choosing yourself even when you feel unsure, nervous, or afraid. Confidence isn't the absence of doubt, it's the decision to move forward despite it. When confidence becomes a habit, you stop waiting to feel ready and start trusting yourself through experiences. Each time you show up, you reform self belief. Confidence grows quietly through consistency and not perfection. So basically, what this is saying, like, It is a habit, but it helps you build on actions, and also it helps you to develop more within self control, self belief, self awareness, everything impacts the self, and also helping you learn that you do have the confidence that you think you didn't have, even when you're unsure about stuff. Like when you're afraid, that's one thing too. Such as you have to be. Sometimes we are uncomfortable to get comfortable. I gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable. It takes a lot out of a person to really get to open up to people. Trust me, for me, it was not easy at all to get comfortable with you guys, to prop a camera up. Well, my phone. Well, I had a camera, but then that camera wasn't really a good camera. I know it was so bad. Had that camera, then I was like, you know what, scratch that. Let's get to the phone, the MacBooks, the iPad, some good camera. But then when I finally got this camera, y'all see me on now. Shout out to the Sony ZV-1F. It takes a lot of a person just to be uncomfortable to get comfortable to do something. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so afraid to show my face on here because if y'all heard of the Disney movie Radio Rebel, that's what I was trying to give without showing no face. I wanted my voice to speak for itself. I didn't want no face to it. I wanted to give face when it was like, okay, this is the time, where it's a little bit buzzing. But not only when it gets buzzing, it's like, okay, I got a whole bunch of episodes, and now you got to show the face, because that's how some of the podcasts that I was listening to, some of the podcasters I was listening to, they ain't had no face. And it was even hard for you to find a main page. That's how hard it was. And that inspired me for my confidence. Like, okay, my voice is already, I'm already putting my voice out there. That was probably one uncomfortable thing to do. But the most uncomfortable thing was just being able to put my face, putting a name in the face to who this is behind the mic. And I ain't gonna lie, when I chose myself, even when I felt unsure, nervous, or afraid, my confidence, it built me a little bit more. Confidence isn't about the absence of the doubt, it's a decision to move forward despite it. And it was some doubt in mine. But then when you have people too coming up to you or texting you and stuff, like, people want to see this. And at first, like I said too, it was hard. So I said, let me do some mini skits. Like, let me record, not really skits, but let me do some little behind the scenes of how I start off the vibe. So then you'll see it. And then it took me, I want to say, before I hit 100 episodes, for me to fully give you guys a full video, because it's just like, I didn't know. And now this helped me understand that my confidence is a habit, and it helped me to be able to get out of that uncomfortable stage and to be comfortable. It took a little bit of time, because once you keep doing it over and over again too, it's like, hold up, this ain't nothing. This ain't about nothing now. So like, this is something not new to me no more. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this now. So I'm comfortable with it, because each time I showed up for myself, I had to reform self belief. And that's one thing too that we most of the time don't talk about, is having a self belief. Self belief also goes hand in hand with confidence as a habit. People might not think about it, but being able to show up even when you feel unsure, when you have that self belief, even when you have the self doubt, some people be like, my third eye, my intuition, all that don't lie. Yes, but it's also another little voice in your head telling you too, like, you don't know until you try. Just see it until you try. And also to just try to motivate yourself to do some things that may not feel comfortable, but in the end it's going to work out. Like for me, I didn't think that me just being on here face to face my face in this camera, light beaming on me, that I'd be comfortable with that. But I had to push myself, because if someone's telling me, we want to see your face, we want to know who you are, and it's like, I'm like, I thought me just talking on this mic was enough. No, because the more and more you're putting an impact onto someone, they want to see who is giving it, and seeing if they really live up to the standards that they are. And I ain't afraid to say, yes, I am living to the standards of what I've been through. It's not easy, but you have to put yourself out there to have those conversations with yourself, to put yourself out there. Trust me, it's not easy at all. Like, it's not easy at all. So I think about confidence as a habit when you give yourself time to do things you never thought you can do. Having that self belief, having them self talks, everything impacting self, doing it, that self awareness and all those things like that. Because each time that we show up for ourselves, me, you, whoever, we are reinforcing self belief for ourselves. But not only that, our confidence is growing. It's growing. it's growing in so many ways. And at times, I feel like when we are in the uncomfortable situations and it helps us to warm up to be comfortable, it's like this ain't nothing no more. This is something that I can do. And even though we are talking about confidence is a habit showing up even when you're unsure, even when we wake up sometimes and we have to do the same routine that we do. Sometimes we like something gotta change. We gotta change the tempo. Like sometimes we change things to help us boost our confidence. The clothes that we wear, our hair, the accessories and stuff like that. That also helps you because sometimes we be unsure. Like I know for me as a female, and I know some of my females can relate. Like as you see me now, if you can see me on the camera, I be scared as hell to wear stuff like this outside because I be like I'm unsure. But it helps. Sometimes it helps boost your confidence. Like just getting little details of stuff done to yourself or adding something to yourself makes a whole impact. Like with guys, they get the haircuts and things like that and add these little details. It helps them with the confidence. Not only does it help with the confidence, it also helps them throughout the day or the week to come. Especially if you have so much going on. I want you to know this. As we are talking about confidence as a habit showing up when we're even unsure. When you're unsure, I want you to also say affirmations to yourself that makes you understand that you are sure. Even though you may be unsure to do this project or take on this load or take that risk, I promise you, my friend, you are the one that's in control of how you want this to go. You are the one in control of what you want to happen and what you don't want to happen. But when you just have that mirror conversation with yourself and you say, okay, this is not what I want to do, but I want to try. I want to give myself I want to try it. That's when your confidence is building slowly but surely, and your self belief is coming, and that self doubt is not going to interrupt what you have going on. Because the more and more we impact on the positive side and the defining positive things in our life, all the negativity and stuff is out the window. And it's not easy. Trust me, I'm still going through it each and every day. I still have sometimes a little bit of self doubt in myself because of what I do and how things run. And we also sometimes always think of the next person's opinion. We never really just think of ours because that's when our self beliefs just it goes down the drain. But we have to put our self beliefs first before we can think of anybody else's because this is where it comes to help us understand that confidence is a habit of us understanding it is a habit. Even when we're showing up, even when we're unsure that we should be showing up, especially in rooms that may not be for us, but you never know how much of you being uncomfortable, you could turn it to be comfortable to help the next person. And you put on a good, not I want to say persona, but you put on a good poker face too and have people like, dang, you sure this your first time? Because that's when your confidence is coming in to help you into play and all the self-belief and everything is showing up and all that self-doubt and stuff is out the window. Okay, because like I said to y'all within the first episode and in the previous episodes before we jump into new year, this year I want the episodes to still, be surrounded by education and educational topics and helping within your wellness. But I also want you to get a feel into understanding the good in it, the positive, the amazing, the beautiful things that life has to offer, rather than we keep talking about the negative things that impact our mental health and how can we do this and that for us to be happy and to learn more. So this right here is a happy topic too. It's helping us understand that we confident. You got to be more confident within yourself and also know that your self belief is key. Even when you are feeling like you're unsure, even when you show up, even still when you're unsure, you're taking a good risk for yourself. And then you show, I got the confidence for even if it may not fall through, I'm still I'm gonna make sure this falls through regardless of how it feel or who like it or not. Because you are in control and whatever you do is possible. You can do anything you put your mind to, but you just have to be able to try, take that risk and also have those self conversations with yourself to also help you understand that you may be unsure, but I'm gonna do it and see because what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? So let's deep dive a little bit more. Who is impacted? Who is impacted within confidence as a habit showing up even when you're unsure? Who needs this message the most? Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna say this is for anyone that feels stuck right now and don't even know if they can take their foot off the brake and, you know, put on the gas pedal. This is for anyone that fears that if they do these actions, it's not going to go right or something's not going to just flow their way. This is for also my people that don't really give their self the chance to try. Give themselves the opportunity to have the positive self-talk and have build their confidence up even when they're uncomfortable. It's always, I'm uncomfortable, I'm not gonna do it, and I'm scared, like I ain't doing it. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it is good to be scared, but we can't be scared all the time, because when you get older, some risks we gotta take that we are not unsure about, but we gotta see what it's about, and we gotta put it to the metal. So, this message is for anyone who feels stuck on waiting uncertainly before taking action. It's for people who doubt themselves, overthink decisions, or who feel like humiliated and, you know, not really too up to par for new opportunities. That goes for mainly for students, professionals, creators, and anyone navigating changes or growth benefits from understanding that uncertainty doesn't disqualify them. If you have been holding yourself back because you don't feel confident enough, this message is to help you, remind you that showing up is how confidence is formed. Now let's get into it. So I'm gonna repeat the last part so that can also go hand in hand on why is this important. So this is for anyone who is impacted with, who needs this message the most when it comes to confidence as a habit, showing up even when you're unsure. Because you don't feel confident enough, this message reminds you that showing up is how confidence is formed. So boom. Teachers, professionals, business owners, parents, guardians, whatever title you hold. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you're not confident enough, uncomfortable, and all that stuff, I'm going to tell you this. In order for you to put your money where your mouth is to see where things can go, you have to show up to see where it goes. Showing up is how confidence is formed. You got to try. Prime example, let me give y'all a good example. So, my internship, I work with high school children at an alternative high school. This school is basically like giving them a second chance, second, third, whatever. It's giving them a second chance, period, at a smaller setting with a smaller amount of staff, smaller amount of students to get everything that they need so they can be in their correct grade, so they can go to a traditional high school and get all the traditional high school experiences such as prom, inauguration, ring dance, and junior day, senior day, live up to all those expectations, right? All my students that I have on my caseload, they don't know it, that they all have something in common, is that they feel like they're not confident enough to get to where they need to go within going to pass, the semester. So a lot of them come in as ninth, 10th graders. They pass this semester. If they're ninth grade, they go to 10th grade. If they're in the 10th grade, they go to 11th grade. And then if they pass, all the way up to the fourth quarter, they will, once they transfer to their new school, they will be in the correct grade. Now, all of them, from my boys and my girls, they say they have confidence, but sometimes they lack the confidence when they say they don't feel comfortable enough. I'm not good at, like, the self doubt comes in, the not so good talk, the bad talk, self talk comes in, you know, disowning, and all those things come into play. And I always have to repeat the motto I say on here to them, that I even have to put it on the board. I had to put it on my wall in a little bubble. Bad times don't last forever, because after every storm there is a rainbow. And you're getting closer to your rainbow every day. I have them read that here and there, and they be like, what does this really mean? This means that, yes, right now you may not feel like you have the confidence, but I guarantee you this is not going to stop you, because you will be in your right grade. You just have to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, because confidence is a habit. But you're going to be able to show up even when you're unsure. You're taking this risk right now. You were unsure about even coming to this school, but you said, you know what? I want my grades. I want to be in the right grade. So I have to do what I have to do so I can be in the right grade. That's one step of you being able to show up for yourself even when you're unsure about it, as well as showing that confidence is a habit. Is a habit that you are showing. even sometimes it can make or break you, but you're still going. I tell them that all the time. They look at me like, I guess. But then they be like, you know what? You're right. Because it gets to a point, y'all. It gets to a point that I gotta keep coming to school every day, get this done so I can get this. It's like a give or take moment. If I do this, this will come out. If this gets taken away, this is what the consequences will be. You know? So from a student perspective, from what I can see as a professional and stuff perspective, because I can see it from both lenses, it's not easy. But when you know you have a goal you're set on or something, whatever you're set on, you gotta be comfortable. You gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And all of them was uncomfortable. Some of them are still uncomfortable because they're still, they came back from break. They still getting in the riff of, okay, this is a new quarter now. Excuse me, I really gotta lock in, but I gotta really do what I need to do. I get it. But I always have to let them know that, even when you're unsure, you're here. You're showing up even when you thought you was unsure about coming and you still put in that work. That's displaying your confidence. Even when you think you're not confident, you came here, you got out of bed, did your morning routine, and brought your butt here because you could do anything you want. You could be anywhere else. You could be home. You could be with your mom or your dad. You could be with somebody else. But you took the route of coming to school to, getting it out the way, even when you feel unsure and you still unsure. But the more and more you keep putting in the work, it's like I was uncomfortable, but now I'm comfortable because I know what I'm doing. And the grades are speaking for themselves. That's it. That's going to show too, like how confidence is a habit that sometimes that we don't understand that we have, that it is a habit for us, that even at times when we're showing up for ourselves, even when we're unsure, we're able to do it. And I'm glad that I brought in with my students because not only for high school, it's from K all the way up to 12, even college students, even people that are in the service and all that. It's hard. Even we put ourselves up, we put ourselves up to this. Sometimes it's even unsure too. I was even unsure about coming back, going back to school right away. Because I'm like, okay, I want to get in my field, but I have to spend another year or cover a couple months and stuff in school, you know? But I said, you know what? I gotta do this. And I was so uncomfortable. I transferred from one college to another institutional college. And then it was uncomfortable as hell. But now it's like, I still have the uncomfortable moments because the semester's coming back up, y'all. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this break me because the confidence, sometimes when I feel like I ain't got that much confidence, I ain't confident enough. It reminds me that showing up is how confidence is formed. I may be uncomfortable, but I'm here. I took that big leap of coming here because I could have stayed in my bed or I could have did something else. That's where it is. The actions is speaking for itself. Actions are speaking louder than words. When you put yourself up there, that's the confidence right there. You're here. You don't even got to speak right now, but you just being able to be in the presence of what you're doing and who you're with. Even when you told them, I don't know, or you probably said, okay, how we feel good about the conversation because you don't want to hurt the other person. Like on TV, you see it, like, when men or women ask each other on dates and then big business plans or whatever come into place. Like, sure, yeah. And then you think about it as the day comes, like, why the hell did I do this? I don't think I'm confident enough or had the energy to do this. I get it. Been there, done that. And sometimes I still have it. I'd be like, I don't think I can do this. But what's the worst what's the worst that could happen? Let me try. Even though I don't feel sure, I still showed up. That's what matters. I showed up. I'm here. I put in some work. Even if I spoke or not. Even if I said some words or not, I'm still here and I'm doing what's needed and what's necessary. Because if I don't, that's when the confidence is shut down. All the self doubt and stuff are going to take over. And you don't want that to happen. Yes, at times it is so hard as hell to put ourselves in predicaments that makes us uncomfortable. But you got to see how it is first before you can even, have all these doubts. That's why I'm a two-sided thinker. I want to dig a little deep. I'm like, okay, so let me see. If I do this, this is the outcome. If I don't do this, this is the outcome. Shit. Let's see what the hell's gonna give me. Like, let me see what the hell is it gonna give me. And most of the time it does go right. And then if it don't go right away, I stay a couple more minutes to see how it go. And if not, okay, I was here. I was here. I did what I need to do, but now I'm gotta go. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta put the pedal to the metal, even when you're unsure, because at times that also goes to see that you got some confidence in you. It takes a little minute to develop it, but it's like, you know what? Don't let that stop you. Keep going. Try. That's the good thing within anything you do. As long as you try, even if it only happened once, that's okay, because you were confident enough to do it, even though you were uncomfortable. You tried, and that's all that matters. And not only it made me feel uncomfortable, but you sort of got comfortable and you was like, okay, cool, let me let my hair down. You may not do it right away again, but long as you can look back and say, you know what, I was so scared to do this, but now I'm comfortable. Now I'm comfortable. Like if it has to do something with a project or something like that, I can do the damn thing. But I also tell people too, and I do this too, have that pep talk, that self conversation, that mirror conversation with yourself, let alone play some music, your favorite tune, the affirmations, whatever, to help you get comfortable. Because it's like when boxers go out to prepare for a match, they got people with them that's helped them run down the ring, their favorite comedian, artist, whatever. They listen to what they listen to, eat your favorite food, whatever. Do something to help you get out of the comfort. Like, when you see the movies and stuff, people like, I'm scared, but then it's like, they have the conversations and stuff, and they be like, okay, I'm ready to take on the conquer the world. I want you to do that. Own the room, even when you feel like this room is not for you, my friend. They gonna be like this. The world is your runway. People are watching you. Even when you unsure, they don't know you're unsure because the way you have your face and how you handle things, it's like, damn, I ain't know he or she was like they was scared. No, and that's okay. You ain't gotta let everybody know you scared now. Shoot. But also going back to within the confidence and habit showing up when you're unsure, we're still going into this year with it popping out when it's necessary, taking control, and being selfish as well. Those three things are also going to help you when you feel like showing up even when you're unsure. You're going to take control of what you can and cannot take. That also helps you build the confidence. Popping out when it's necessary. That's having you building that confidence like, look, I'm ready to show the world what's up and what's going on, and nobody can take this away from me. As well as being selfish when you know certain people and certain things can't steal your joy. Even though you were unsure about showing up, my friend, you came here and did what's necessary. Because, yes, it's hard for us to be in these rooms that we're uncomfortable with. But you gotta show up even when you unsure. Because once you taking control, you putting in taking that control role, you pop it out when it's necessary, and most importantly, being selfish, baby, you can take on anything you do. Because that impacts with your confidence. Those things are impacted with your confidence. It's all in how you put it and how you want it to go for you because the world is your runway. This is this is your show. We're watching you. This is your movie, excuse me. Forget the sequel. This is your movie. We're watching you. Your life is like a movie. You got to stay focused, even if you're unsure, especially if it's something in your life that you're willing and manifesting and has been praying for that's bringing you that, or it's going to bring you happy days. You got to do what's necessary for you, my friend, and don't let nothing or no one from the outside world try to tell you otherwise. Okay? Because this also impacts with what is the benefit? What happens when you show up even when you feel unsure? Like I just said, you build so much confidence within you. When you popping out, when you want to pop out, that right there is like, oh shoot, you got so much confidence because you didn't have to pop out when anybody tell you. You did it when you were ready to. You're taking control of what's needed and what's necessary for you. That's so much confidence right there because it takes a lot out of a person to even take control of their life. Everything impacting self, it takes a lot of us to develop. It's having that self control, having that self awareness, having a self belief in everything about self, as well as being selfish. Sometimes we had to step back and do for ourselves to learn for ourselves. Even when I'm unsure, I'm going to still do what I have to do because you never know how much this may impact me or you. You never know. Because when you show up despite uncertainty, you build self trust. Like I said, everything impacting trust, the self awareness, the self beauty, the self alarm, all that self is being built. You learn that you can handle being discomfortable, being adapted and growing through experiences. This practice reduces fear over time and replace, being hectic with resentment. You begin to see yourself as capable, courageable, and developmental, not because everything worked out perfectly, but because you showed up. You showed up anyway. Because you showed up anyway. Confidence grows within proof and not promises. Now let's get into that part. Confidence grows from proof, not promises. Now let me show you. The proof is. Let me tell you. The proof is in the pudding. Right? Y'all, if y'all ever heard that, the proof is in the pudding. You could talk a good game, but if the actions is not there, it's bull. It's BS to me. This is for anyone that feels unsure about it. Confidence grows from the proof and not promises. You can promise me all day, but that ain't no confidence because if you're not putting that action within the words, I'm real big on the action. You could tell me all these things in the world, but the actions are going to show me otherwise. Okay, you bowed it. And it's where the confidence leads up to. Okay, you was confident enough to tell me this, and you was confident enough to show me what you about and show me what it is. And vice versa. I'm comfortable enough to show y'all this raw and uncut version of me. Because most people are not. They be like, hell with that. I'm not doing that. I don't need all that to be there. But this is proof in the pudding that yes, I'm confident, and my confidence is growing within me being comfortable. Because I was unsure at one point in time. I didn't know if I could show up and do what I'm doing now for people. I didn't know. Even if a lot of people was listening or watching, I may not impact everybody, but long as I impact a handful or one, I know I'm doing something right. That's what the proof is in the pudding for me. Because also, too, you learn that you can handle these things even when you feel discouraged or you feel uncomfortable and all that. All the negative stuff, it's like you turning the negative into a positive. Everything was negative at one point in time, but now it's positive because you're showing it. You're showing up and you showing out. The confidence is proof that you're doing it. The promises don't mean nothing if there's no actions behind it. It's like, when you tell somebody you love them. Okay, why you love me? Show me better than you can tell me. It is like versus the bad thing. Someone can say they hate you and they're going to show you that in a heartbeat before they can show you that they love you. It sounds crazy, y'all, but it's the truth. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth. It feel like the bad things we're able to show those actions right away, but the good things is on mute. It's not though. You can do the same amount of energy you have with it showing a negative. You can do the same thing with a positive thing, but you just have to be able to be comfortable to do those things. Within being able to show up when you feel uncomfortable and unsure, my friend, I guarantee you the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. You can tell somebody all day long all these things, but if you're not comfortable enough and confident enough to show them the actions, it's bull. It's bull crap. Nobody want to listen to it because this also helps you to practice the fear over time that you have for yourself. Like at times we fear within having to speak up for ourselves. But baby, when you feel that confidence, you practice in the mirror, whatever the case may be, or talk to yourself. Lord, let me tell y'all right now. At times I have to, not at times, all the time I got to talk to myself to get myself back together because no one understands me more than I understand myself. Yes, I have a therapist and stuff, and she understands me, but sometimes the little thoughts and stuff I have going on, I know how to handle it a little bit more than maybe my therapist do. Don't get me wrong, the tools and stuff that she has provided me, I am putting that towards the confidence because I'm showing it. And the proof is within it. Because it's like too, when it's prime example within the therapist. Some people get him and it's not going to be easy. The first one is like, doing evaluation, learning who you are to see what do we have to do? What's the root cause of you coming to this therapist, counselor, social work, whatever the case may be. Then as y'all build, you start to break the ice. You was uncomfortable as hell. And now slowly but surely, you slowly get it comfortable. That's the proof right there. And it's not a promise. And that's one thing too within the human health behavior service world. Providers, we're not making no promises that we can't keep. That's one thing you don't want to do. Make a promise to someone they can't keep it. As well as for our clients. We don't even make them promise themselves things because sometimes they can't keep it. My main focus, as you guys heard within my students, is I want them to show up even when it feel like it's not, because it's also building self-confidence and self-awareness and self-trust and self-belief within themselves. The more and more we don't give ourselves the chance, the more and more we're doubting ourselves, and the more and more that we will not break out of that shell of being scared, spiteful and stagnant. You don't want to stay stagnant. I want you to break that stagnant mess. That's one of my favorite words I like to use to help people know I am very clear on what I stand for. You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to stay stagnant with things that just don't see no progress in it. It's like when you are willing to change, you have to get out of certain norms or get away from certain people to make the change. You know, like I said, you can say it, but if the actions are not backing it up, it's bull. Because going back again, the confidence grows from the proof. You know, like if you unsure, you tired of this man, this woman, them, they, whatever, move yourself away from them. You sometimes you don't even got to say no words. The movement shows itself. That's the confidence that you're building, because not only is it building, but you're being selfish and you're taking control of what is yours. And you're going to pop out when it's necessary for you, because that also, going back to that, is impacting your confidence as a habit. The way you portray and you want people to see things is how you want to. But also being able to have that confidence within is like, damn, nothing can break them and nothing will. Cause it does at times, we still be uncomfortable about things, but we gotta do what's necessary for us. Because over time we practice to get out of those hellholes of feeling like we can't do this and I don't know if I can do this. But once you put it out there on the floor, it's like, okay, I got this. Because once you begin to see yourself being capable, you have the courage, and it's more for you to develop being dependable. One thing about it, let's go talk about tax. It's tax season. W-2's coming. We ain't independents no more in your parents or your guardians. Nah. Once you be a certain age and you making money, you're dependent. You are putting it out there for yourself. Not gonna lie, y'all. When I became a dependent, I was uncomfortable as hell, because I was like, I don't know what the hell going on. When I had my first tax forms, I was like, okay, I'm seeing how much money they taking out, so I must be making a little bit more. I should get some more out of it. Nope. It may that be. It may was that way. It may wasn't. But either way, I was like, I don't know. But once I became dependent, I was like, okay, this is uncomfortable as hell. But the more and more I see, like, dang, I'm really stepping out and doing things I never thought I would do before at a young age. Because, when you're young, sometimes you're like, you just want to be a kid forever. I don't want to grow up. I promise you I was not ready to be in my 20s. I wasn't. I didn't know, I didn't really see myself being 16, 18, all those numbers. I was in high school was a big one. I was like, I really didn't have a long term vision of that. I was living in the present moment. But slowly but surely, my confidence started to build too, because I started to do things I was uncomfortable with and trying to see. Because also, too, we always think about these things we want to do, but we be uncomfortable because of the outside world, their opinion. Let me say this again. The world is your runway. You have the right to say and do what you need to feel. People are going to watch you regardless, and people are going to love it or hate it. But the most thing that is important is that you have the confidence, and that confidence grows from proof, and not you having to promise and change yourself for anybody else. Keep doing what's for you, my friend, because the more and more you do that, the more and more you'll be able to show up even when you're unsure, and turn that unsure to being sure, and letting people know, like, look, whew, I was uncomfortable to do this, but makeovers, whatever stuff is needed to, if this was needed to help me get comfortable, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Because I'm tired of staying stagnant, and I'm tired of being this way. So confidence is going to be a habit, but it's also going to be a good habit for me to show that, yeah, I even showed up when I was uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable stage and me being unsure, it helped me to be sure now. And to take on anything I can do, I can do it. Long as the proof is in the pudding and the actions are speaking louder than the words. Or the actions are with the words. Okay? So, we're almost there, y'all. When should you practice confidence? When is it most important to show up? We say this again. When you know you're tired of being uncomfortable and unsure and all those things, you do it when it's necessary for you. Let the action speak loud for you. Let everything you have set and desire for all that you want to do within yourself, let it speak up for you. Let those things take control and enjoy it. Don't rush it. Just try something you never did. Also, we talk about it, we never really tap into it. Even telling our feelings to people. Now, before I deep dive a little bit into that, let me give y'all a little story. I don't shoot my shot. At one point in time, I ain't shoot my shot. No, no, I'm not gonna lie. At one point in time, I wanted somebody to chase after me. But then Tom was like, this one young man was so he was cute to me. I was like, it's like that Tory Lane song. Well, I ain't falling in love with him, but it's like what he said. He fell in love with somebody that doesn't even know his name. Like Alicia Keys said, you don't know my name. Same thing with her. It took a lot out of her to shoot her shot to that man. So those like, and I love music because like, if I remember a song and it connects to the situation I'm going through, I say, you know what? Let me do it. And the thought of my mind, going back again to the verse of Alicia Keys' song, girls don't usually do this, but I'ma shoot my shot. She shooted her shot to that man that kept coming in and out of her restaurant. So I was like, let me shoot my shot at this guy that I see every day in school. So let me see what I can do. And at times rejection's gonna happen. And I said, you know what? And I told myself, I said, even if he do or do not like me, if he don't feel that way, long as I did it, because I was scared as hell to do it. That was one of the scariest things ever. I don't even remember how I went, but I know I was scared as hell to do it. And I was like, I know girls don't usually do this, but let me get to know you. Let me try something. Like let me see something here. Like sometimes we think of these things so much and be like, okay, let's try. And don't get me wrong, rejection is something that we have to live with. That we don't have to live with. It's rejection is going to happen to us. It can make us or break us. But I want it to make you. Even though you unsure, okay, don't go your way. All right, it humbled me a little bit more. My first real hard rejection happened with a job I wanted so bad. It hurted me, but I was like, you know what? It humbled me to understand that I was scared as hell to apply to this job, but I did it because I felt as though that I was qualified, and the job might not felt I was qualified for, and that's okay. Because it also shows that yes, I had the potential. I got go a little bit harder though, but I did something that I was so terrified of doing. That was applying and having these interviews. So think of it like that, y'all. Think of my scenarios, not real life scenarios, situations to help you build the confidence. Because not only when it came to like just approaching guys, even approaching females to be your friend, that's the hardest thing ever. Because like it's different when you was in elementary, middle school, and sort of kind of in high school. When you get older, it may be scary to approach, but you never know how much of you being like unsure can make someone feel that okay, I want to take this risk, so it may be sure. It may be a sure thing, Miguel, because it may be a sure thing for you. So yeah, just take that risk and see where it goes. Even if it don't, you tried. And that's where your confidence built. Even if it doesn't go your way, you took a leap of faith and you say, you know what, I keep thinking about it. All right, now the confidence grows proof for me because the proof in the pudding. Let me put it out there and see what I can do. See what I get. And if I don't get much, that's okay. Long as I did it, because that was a hardest pill to swallow, y'all. It was so hard. And now I'm like, I'm not afraid now to say, okay, if I think this man is handsome, I'm going to tell him. If I want to be friends with this girl, I'm going to tell them. Even my students, if I feel as though it's something that someone never told me when I was a child, I'm going to tell them to help them because you never know how much it could put an impact onto their life as well as help you boost confidence that you never thought you had. Because that goes into confidence is important when doubt is loud. like when we so nervous and stuff, confidence is most important when a doubt is loud. Confidence is going to take over that doubt and show that doubt. I'm gonna be loud before you get loud on me. Practice confidence when you feel nervous, unprepared, or uncertain, not after those feelings disappear. Show up when you feel afraid of failing. That's one thing. Let's talk about that one. Show up even when you're afraid of failing. Let's talk about school. Now, I've been to three different goddamn institutions. I went to community college. I went to a 4-year college, a HBCU to do 2.5 years, and now I'm at a PWI institution college doing a couple months equals up to a year. That's also like it goes to 2 to 3 years, whatever. I failed my first class ever at an HBCU in my second semester, the spring semester. I was pissed as hell. I was so afraid of failing. But I'll say this. I felt afraid of failing, but it humbled me. Because it also said, you know what? I was so used to passing all the courses. But I ain't gonna lie to you, when I was in community college, I failed two classes. Not at the same time, though. One at a time. And when I took them classes over, it helped me build confidence that, yeah, I maybe messed up the first time, but now I got a second chance. And my confidence was higher. I was so locked into it. I was using my resources, going to study groups, having the tutor. I was doing that. Now, when I failed at Morgan, y'all, I was so terrified. I was like, because you prepare. I was prepared to get in my program, and that was a prereq we had economics, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh, because it took me a long time to understand like numbers and stuff as I got in college. I took the highest college course they had in community college, statistics. I was like, huh? I don't know how I got it, but look, I was locked in and we got it. Now, economics, it gets a little bit intense within the numbers, the graph. I couldn't stand a graph. That's where it messed up for me. Homework and stuff, y'all, was good. But the test, it was like, something ain't right. I took advantage of every extra credit stuff. But I said, yeah, as much and much pressure I'm putting in there, my confidence was I'm going to keep on doing it. And if I fail this class, you know what? I'm going to just take it in the summer or take it next semester and get it done. By the grace of God, I took that class again when I entered the program. Now, I was nervous, y'all. I was like, OMG, I'm entering the program and this is a prereq. Their main concern was us making sure that we had the prereqs courses and the GPA and grades was up to there. Cool. I passed that class, y'all, and that class helped me understand. Take advantage of the notes, ask deeper questions, have classmates that are willing to help you, but most importantly, trust your instincts. Be comfortable. Even if the first lesson didn't teach me nothing, it taught me that, I put best forth my effort, but it wasn't enough. But now I'm putting it in there. And that's how I received my first 4.0 ever in college. That it motivated me so much that I know damn well I ain't gonna fail no class in grad school, okay? I passed all my class with a good A, with some A's, okay? I'll be damned. But even when failure hits, even if we're afraid of failure, we still gotta put confidence in it. The proof gonna be in the pudding. Even if I might not get this right or whatever, I'm still gonna do what's necessary. As well as when you're tempted to shrink or stay silent. When you're tempted to shrink or stay silent. Now I can talk about the silence part. Oh Lord, when I'm upset, you can't get nothing out of me. But if you blow me up, then it's gonna be a problem. But I also had to rephrase it like I can't keep blowing up on people. That's showing that I ain't have no confidence. I'm unsure, and I'm not. I'm not in my right head space. As well as when you're waiting for external validation. Going back to like when we have to put our best forward, we have to put our best foot forward. We gotta ask people for validation. Hell no, I don't do that no more. If I feel as though I want to talk to this person, I'm gonna do it. If I want to be friends with this person, I'm gonna do it. If I want to take on this project, I want to do it. If I want to put that outfit on, I want to do it. If I want to get this hair, whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it. Because sometimes when you wait for validation for others, it's going to slow down your confidence process. The confidence is going to be out the window. The moment someone tells you something that I don't want to say the word, y'all, but I'm going to say the letter, F's up your confidence, because the F bomb will fly out, y'all. But F up your confidence, everything is shut down. There's no turning back. And I had that happen before. Like, I would ask people for validations to help me understand what something, all the negative comments were coming out the window. And let me tell you a good one that helped me understand that I don't need to validate nothing and I do what I want to do when I need to do it. Because I'm going to pop out when it's necessary, be selfish, and most importantly, I'm taking control. Being 2 years in within my podcast that will make 3 years in a couple months from now. This is one of the biggest things that helped me understand that when you want to start something on your terms, don't expect validations from no one. You do it when it's necessary. Pop out, take control, but also be selfish with it. No one knew about this until the date until it dropped. Everybody like, what the hell? Yeah, yeah. You don't wait for validation, because sometimes people are going to say some mean, hateful stuff to you because they want to do what you're doing. And that's the thing too. You gotta leave a mystery to some people. You can't always tell everybody what's next. Like they say, you can't tell your right hand what you can't tell your left hand what your right hand doing all that mess. You can't tell everybody the plans because they're going to F up your confidence. And that's one thing you don't want to do. If you're on the path of you want to pop out and show people, you want to take control and be selfish, you can't let everybody in. Certain stuff everybody don't have to know about. Because even when we unsure, sometimes we got to be like, I really want this. Do I want this person to validate for me? Sometimes we just have to go out there and do it. Do it just like Nike. Just do it and see where it goes. And I guarantee you, this is one of the biggest things that I was scared of because, like I said, this was for fun. This wasn't supposed to be serious at one point in time. I'm like, this is just for fun, just to see it. But then I was like, people are listening and watching. They tuned in. Shoot, why not take this serious and do what has to be done? And I need nobody's validation. I need nobody's validation for what the hell I'm doing. And I'm going to continue that too. Don't wait for nobody's validation to help you with an expectation of what you want. Don't do that. As well as too, when you're stepping into something new, my friend, if you feel like you ready to take your foot off the brake and put your foot on the gas to take off, do it, because the confidence is proof. The proof is in the pudding. You can do it. And it's going to be the real people in your corner is going to vouch for you and be your biggest cheerleader. Don't let the people that have not been in your life, who have been self-doubting you and self-pity and stuff, boost down your confidence. No, because even when you felt unsure about it, my friend, do it, because you kept thinking about it, contemplating on it. You had vision boards, you prayed about it, you writing the stickers on your mirror, you talking to yourself about it, you writing it down in your diary, you saying it in your prayers. If you keep talking about it, put them words to action. Let the action speak for itself. Let the confidence build for you, because the confidence is going to help you understand that it's proof in the pudding. It's proof in everything that you do, especially when it comes to when you are stepping into a new something new, anything, new era, new life, new lover, new anything. Don't wait for validation. Do not stay silent, and don't have your temper impact with it, as well as don't be afraid of the failure, because we have to learn from our failure. Bad times don't last forever, because after every storm there's a rainbow, and you're getting close to them good times. Sometimes we got to go through them bad times to get them good times, but we also have to appreciate them and thank God for them to happen, because if everything was like a silver spoon, like everything happened so good, you wouldn't know how to experience when things hit when it's time for you to hit rock bottom. You wouldn't know. And your confidence, what would it be? Yeah, because confidence isn't built in comfort zone, it's built in the moment of choice. Confidence isn't built on a comfort isn't built in comfort zone. It's built in the moment of choice. It isn't built in comfort zone. Confidence is not built in comfort zone. It's built in the moment of choice. The moment you take forth the action of choosing something that you have manifesting and praying for, you took the action on doing it. That's where the proof is at. It's not in a comfort zone. No, confidence is when you have that moment to say, you know what, I'm about to do it. I'm like, hey, F it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it just like I'm gonna do it just like Nike. And what I get out of it is what I get out of it. But I'm gonna say this, regardless if it was good or bad for me, I still took that chance, and it helped me build confidence I never thought I had. Because now I can take on anything, any project, as well as be vocal for anything that I have going on for me. Okay? And that also impacts with where. Where. Where does this matters most? In which areas of life does confidence as a habit shows up? All areas of our life impacts. Work, school, home life, relationships, decision making, work, all that. Every area in your life you can think of, popping out, taking control, being selfish, all those things impact with when you feel like you're unsure. When confidence is a habit, when you feel like you're unsure, but you're still able to show up when you're unsure. So confidence impacts every area of your life. Like I said, personal growth, trying even when you feel unsure, work/school, speaking up, applying, or asking questions. Relationships, expressing needs and boundaries, self-worth, trusting yourself through actions, daily decisions, choosing progress over perfection. Confidence shapes how you show up for yourself before it affects how others see you. Confidence shapes you how you show up for yourself before it affects how others see you. Like I said, this is your runway. Your life is like a movie. I'm watching you, you watching me. We watching each other's movie. Your confidence is how you show up for yourself. It's not how I see it. It's how you show up for yourself. But I'm seeing it as a good thing. Every woman, I won't say this for a woman, that I see, regardless of what's her nationality and all that, I give her the most updue praises because certain stuff she's doing, I wouldn't see myself doing it because I'm so scared. But then the confidence may build up for me because I see her doing it. Taking on projects and stepping with the fashion. Because if you don't know, fashion is something I like too. I'm tapping in that side. But I'm doing the fashion such as for like my side y'all. I guess y'all call me a BBW. I don't know. For the big girls, if y'all watch Fat Girls with Monique in it, I don't know. I'm classified as one of them because I'm a little, plump, whatever. Certain stuff I'm learning like, okay, I can still look good and still be able to wear my clothes how I want to without having to show all my assets. Okay? Because the confidence is showing is confidence shapes how I show up for myself before it affects anybody else. I don't care. People can applaud you and something not. My biggest thing is when others applaud me. When women are applauding me and saying, "Ooh, it makes me happy." Even my students, like sometimes I just put this on just because, and it makes me feel good. Like my hair, stuff like that. I do things to make me feel good. The next person may not like it, and that was one thing I had too. That okay, if I did this in my hair, someone's going to talk about me, and they're going to talk about me and say all these things. But I had to think, this goddamn hair's on my head. This my hairstyle. These clothes on my body. It's not on their body. They can like it or not. And I'm not going to go into like how much it costs, nothing like that. No, we ain't going to do that. But I like it. I did it, and this is for me because this is confidence how I'm showing up for myself. I don't care how it affects others because this is for me. Like going within like your personal growth. You try even when you feel unsure. It's so many things in life, y'all, that you have to do for yourself even when you're unsure for you to get the personal growth aspect that you need. Even with the school and work, ask some questions. Even if you feel uncomfortable, if it may make the other person uncomfortable, oh well, you are speaking up for yourself. You asking them questions as well as speaking up. It's in every area I just spoken about within your personal growth, school and work, relationships, self work, and daily decisions. With impacting all of that, you better speak up for yourself. You better speak up for yourself and don't let nobody run over top of you and try to dim your light when it comes to your confidence. I'll be damned to let anyone stunt my growth again. I don't want nobody to look at me as a person that has low self-esteem. I want my self-esteem to be as high as possible because I know how it feels to have low self-esteem. I know how it feels to be laughed at and joked at. Even when you have high self-esteem, people still gonna laugh and joke at you. Oh well, because this is for me. When you've been through enough, enough is enough. This is where you like, okay, I gotta show y'all better than I can tell y'all. But then again, you don't even have to do all that for people's opinion. You doing it for you. Within all areas, speak up for yourself. Most importantly, do what's necessary for you. As well as relationships, express them needs and boundaries that impacts on speaking up. Express them needs and the boundaries that you have set. I had to do that. It hurted, but you have to do what's necessary for you because you don't want nobody playing on your top. You ain't gonna be playing on me. That ain't gonna fly. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna do that. Because we're in a time where we live it freely. We walking on sunshine. And in order for me to do that, in order for you to do that, my friend, set them boundaries, take control, pop out, and most importantly, be selfish when it's necessary for you. As well as self-worth. Trust yourself, even through your actions. Even if it may not be what you thought you would ever do. Trust yourself, my friend. Trust it. Because this world is your runway, and I'm just watching you take on what's necessary for you. I'm cheering you on as much as possible, but I need you to cheer yourself on before the next person can. As well as when it comes to the daily decisions, choose progress over perfection. Don't think of everything has to be perfect. Practice makes perfect. No, you're going to practice until you feel comfortable and you feel like, okay, this is how I want it to go. All that practice makes perfect. Mm-mm. You're going to have it the way you want to see it, but like, okay, this is enough for me because nothing's perfect and nobody's perfect. So you're going to choose your progress over perfection because confidence shapes how you show up for yourself versus how another person may feel versus who may feel not equipped to what you got going on. F them. Who cares? You at a time where you feeling like you that boss, you that CEO. Hello, y'all see the hat, the CEO. You doing? Hold on, y'all see it. You doing what is necessary for you, my friend, because this world is your runway. Life is a movie. You gotta stay focused. You are in charge of everything that's going on for your life. Don't let nothing or no one stunt your growth. And don't let anyone validate what you have going on for yourself. Okay? And lastly, this impacts the whole reason on why is this important and why you need to understand this. Why is this important? Why does practicing confidence change your life? Let me tell you this. Going back to why is it important? Because confidence helps you shape yourself as a person that you have been dreaming of, that you have been afraid to show the world. That's what I feel before I read into it. And this is important because confidence is something that you have, but you're scared to let it open. You're scared or scared. But now, today, my friend, all that scariness is out the window. Let he or she and them, they have it. You are in control and you're about to pop out and show these people what you are made of. Don't let nothing or no one try to dictate or have validations for what you want to serve for yourself. F them. F them. Let them talk. Let them hate. People going to talk about you all day long. When you're here and when you're gone. You doing what's for you and what population you serve. Like me, I work with children. I never thought I'd work with high school children. I was so uncomfortable, but now I'm comfortable because now they're giving me the respect that I've been giving to them. We're here. My actions are speaking louder than words for them. My proof is in the pudding. That helped me get the confidence every day. Trust me, it'd be scary when I have to sit on some conversations I have to sit in with them with their interventions and stuff. But it helps me. It's humbling me as well as it's humbling them to understand that they are in charge even though they're not grown, but they still be able to be in charge of the things that they can handle in their life. Speaking up, popping out when it's necessary, being in control, and being selfish when it's necessary. Point blank, period. Because practicing confidence change your life because of this. Waiting to feel confident keeps you stuck. When you waiting and waiting to feel confident, that's gonna make you feel stuck. You're gonna be stagnant as hell. I need you to get out that stagnant mindset and just do it. Practicing confidence moves you forward. The more and more you practice, the more and more you move forward. Such as taking risks on things you didn't want to take it. Talk to that person. Try that outfit on. Do that hairstyle. Apply for that job. Try that hobby. Do it. Do it. When you treat confidence as a habit, you stop fearing your choices. You stop fearing it as a dictated choice. You learn that certain parts of growth not a sign to stop. It's not a sign to stop you. The mindset empowers you to take risks, embrace learning, and building a stronger relationship with yourself. Confidence isn't about always knowing, it's about trusting yourself to figure it out. Confidence is not always knowing, but it's about trusting yourself to figure it out. The whole purpose too within your confidence, you're learning as you go. You're learning yourself on a deeper level. Like I mentioned, you didn't know you had it. I didn't know I had it to talk to these people and sit in these rooms and do stuff for me. I didn't know I had it. I always thought about it, dreamed about it, but it was like hell. When you see them dreams clear as day, you know you about to this about to take off. Now I gotta put my foot on the gas to let it take off. So now I can see what it is. Because confidence isn't about always knowing, it's about me trusting myself to figure it out, as well as it's helping me to empower myself. Not only me, but mainly you, my friend, for you to empower yourself to take that risk. Take that risk. And embrace the learning. Embrace learning about yourself that you never knew you had. Learning areas about yourself that may need a little bit of improvement, but overall just learning that you do have the confidence. You are able to put things into motion and do things for yourself, or just whatever it is in confidence, period. And most importantly, build a stronger relationship with yourself. Because if you're not confident, you're not gonna be able to build relationships or form friendships and stuff with others if you don't build it with yourself. You have to make sure that you're able to understand that confidence is gonna be a habit for you because it's gonna be a good habit. This is a good habit for you. Like, yes, I got the confidence and I know what I can take and what I cannot take, and I know what's for me and what's not for me. And I know what I can do and what I cannot do. But if I can't do it, I'ma still do it even if I felt unsure about it. And I'm not going to let nothing or no one stop me. You know why? Because I have confidence. And now that I have the confidence, I have built a stronger relationship with myself. And I can know that confidence isn't about always knowing, but it's about me trusting myself to figure it out and learning within the process, but as well as embracing me taking these risks and doing things I never thought I could do before. So think of it as this is a good habit to have within confidence, because not only are you being able to show up when you unsure, but you're also able to do things that you never thought you could do before. You picking your foot off that brake and putting it on the gas to take off, and you're not looking back at it, because nothing or no one can validate what you have going on. Okay, my friend? I want you to remember that. Okay? So I hope now you understand more of what the quote of the week slash the day is when it comes to confidence is built every time you choose courage over comfortable. When you take control of having that confidence, with having the courage, all that being comfortable is out the window. Being comforted out the window. Because sometimes it's not needed. Because confidence is built every time you choose courage than to be comfortable. That's comfortable being stagnant and being comfort. Nah, you got to take the leap on faith and do it. And have the validation for yourself before anyone else can say, look, I'm going to validate and say, this ain't for you. Hell no, you ain't going to validate nothing because I said what I said. If you don't like it, oh well. And for the ones that's cheering me on within this movie, this runway, whatever, thank you. Okay? And as always, I thank you all so very much for taking the time out of your busy day to hear me yap and yap and yap, yap, yap. I will never forget when my students, when I first did their wellness advisory and took it a little bit serious, they said, oh, Miss Lockley, you talk so much. You thank you, Martin Luther King. You give a Martin Luther King speech. I was like, well, he had a dream and I have a dream too. So I'm glad you're listening, and I'm glad that he came to mind, because that's what I'm trying. I'm not trying to give you that, but it goes to show my confidence is somewhere like that. But as always, I thank you all so very much again for your time, your patience, for listening and watching me. I really hope that you guys learned a few important points within being able to understand that confidence is a habit. Confidence is a habit, showing up even when you're unsure. And knowing that you got this and you don't need nobody's validation, learn from it, take that risk, pop out when it's necessary, be selfish, but most importantly, do what's necessary for you. Take control, pop out, and be selfish when it's necessary for you. Okay? Because today, remember that confidence doesn't require certainty, it requires action. You don't need to feel fearless to move forward. You just need to be willing. Each step you take, even the shaky ones. Strength, strengthen your beliefs in yourself. Keep showing up, and most importantly, confidence is catching up with you. Okay? And until then, guys, I wish you all nothing but the best. Please be safe out here. Love on yourself extra hard. Take that risk on being confident. Take that risk on doing something that you never thought you had the confidence to do. Ask for that help. Ask that man or that woman for their number. Take them on a date. Take yourself out on a date. Take that project, apply for that job, tell that person how you feel, set the boundaries, but most importantly, speak up for yourself and do not ask for nobody's validation. But most importantly, learn from it. And most definitely importantly, love on yourself, learn from yourself, and trust yourself before you can trust anyone. Okay? I love you all so very much. Please be safe out here. Do what's necessary for you. Be careful, bundle up wherever you're at, let your hair down, but most importantly, do what's for you. Pop out, take control, and be selfish when it's necessary. And don't let no one dim your crown. Don't let nobody mess up your one way flow. And don't let nobody mess up your movie or try to rewrite your movie for you. Okay? And as always, you guys will hear from me, the one and only E, next Wednesday. Bye.